I was standing, staying still, never said what I feel. And every time I took the blame, carried all this quiet shame. 'Cause all the pressure in my chest, I've gotta fight to catch my breath. When every step still feels.
The grass ain't greener on the other side, no. You did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye.
Okay, so the parking lot is full. I don't even know if I'm actually allowed to park here, but let's go. But you guys, the wedding guests get free parking. They get like the VIP parking. That's so annoying. We're going that way. That way.
Trying not to break. Where do I go from here? Maybe I'll disappear. If I don't try, I'll never know. I'm waiting on you. Where do I go from here? There will be no more tears. Kill the doubt, feed the fire, hear the voice inside.
Hello, hi, welcome to the vlog. So this is actually my first ever like straight up solo hike. I've done quite a few to where like friends and stuff couldn't make it all the way to the summit, so I did like the final push to the summit. But today I'm doing this completely solo, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge. I already lost the trail. No, not really. I actually went down like the bike trail, which is a little bit confusing. So today we are doing Cascade Mountain, and this was not my original plan. My original plan was actually to do Mount Bourgeot, but when I arrived at the trailhead, the parking lot was completely full. There was like a tow-away zone, and then there was like a no parking zone where people were still parked. So I decided to like come here, not risk it. But then also this one had no parking. Get here early if you're doing this on a weekend. But we're gonna continue along. I'm gonna try to get through this flat part relatively fast. I'm already really hot, but I got a later start than I wanted to just because I went to the first trailhead. I kind of stuck around for a bit, waited and see if anybody would come and leave, but no one left. So here we are. We're doing Mount Cascade. This is about 18.5K according to All Trails, but we'll see. And it's a 1,600 meter elevation, so this is going to take me all day. And I'm going to be the last one at the parking lot, I am sure of it, with my illegally parked car. Well, I don't know if it's technically illegally parked. There's no lines, and everyone just kind of parked everywhere. This Tesla took like 3 parking spots, so there's that. Yeah, I'm gonna continue along and I'll update you guys shortly.
Not giving up, it's my turn this time. They took a shot, now I want mine. You fall, I rise, I take the wheel. So this is how it feels. Where do I go from here? Maybe I'll disappear.
Hey guys, we're still going down the trail. I don't know, today's been such a weird day, from there being really no parking at the first trailhead to getting to this one and having no parking at this trailhead. And my water bladder was literally just leaking down my butt. So my pants are wet. So that's great. That's fun. That has never happened before. In the entirety of me owning a water bladder, because I put it inside a Ziploc bag, right? The Ziploc bag was actually filled with water. So I made sure everything was tightened, shoved it in my pack again. I'm hoping that it doesn't leak for the rest of the day and it gets warmer and I can, you know, dry off. Thankfully I'm wearing Lulus, so, you know, they're like fast dry. But still, like, it's been such an odd day. Like, this has never happened. So yeah, I'm a little weirded out by it, but we're gonna keep going. And hopefully today gets better. I heard the first like 6 to 8K of this one is just forest. So that's what I've been hiking through so far, is just forest. There hasn't been really a view, but the trail has been flat-ish. Assuming all those 1,600 meters of elevation gain is near the end, which is gonna be brutal, but you know, maybe then I can kind of dry off a bit. Yeah, like, it's been an interesting day, you guys. Super interesting. So I'll update you guys further along. There's supposed to be a really pretty creek up here, so I'll show you what that looks like, and I'll see you in the next clip.
I'll never know. I'm waiting on you. Where do I go from here? There will be no more tears. Kill the doubt, feed the fire, hear the voice inside.
Hey guys, so we reached the fork in the road. One goes down this like backpacking trail. So all the people were in front of me just like turned down that path, and I basically just turned right. Like, there's two paths, one goes left, one goes right. Took the right one, and we're on our way up to Cascade. It's been steep for the past, like, I want to say kilometer since the creek. It's been a pretty steady incline. I'm at the switchbacks right now, so we'll continue on up and I'll update you guys further along. Okay, you guys know what I'm thankful for is the little shortcuts. So there's shortcuts up the switchbacks, which is really nice. They are really steep. I don't know if I really want to use the shortcuts on the way down. I usually do. We'll see. We'll see how it is. It's always easier going up, but yeah, we're 6K into the trail. I'm assuming that I'm almost done the switchbacks. At least I really hope so. I just want to get out of the tree line and into some views, because so far it's just been a whole lot of this. After the creek, it's just trees. So I'm hoping that we get out of the tree line soon and into some views. So I'll update you guys then. I'm pretty sure my water bladder stopped leaking, I hope. So yeah, see you guys in the next clip. This one is a grind. Yeah.
I grew up reading stories, how I believed that I could climb through every page, how all the fire and glory, all the revenge and all the rain. Have you heard of the heroes ending?
little trail update. I feel like I'm almost there. I'm probably like a kilometer and a bit. There's flies up here that are annoying me, but I feel like I'm almost there. The ascent so far has been 1073 meters, so I feel like I have like 200-ish to go. But the only thing that bothers me so far about this trail is that there's a lot of different trails. They're all kind of braided, so I've gotten off trail like quite a few times on this one, honestly. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'll show you guys kind of like what we're looking at somewhere up there. The trail looks hella sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna continue along and see how it goes. I'll see you in the next clip. We are at the top of Cascade. Finally, this took so long. This took 6 hours. So I just realized actually that I can use my tripod for my camera. I know. Why didn't I think of that before? Like in the beginning of this hike or whatever, but this is the view that you guys want. This is the top of Cascade. This is Lake Minnewanka below me. I know I'm in a very sketchy rock right now, but I think that this was the best place for photos. There was a ton of people up here when I got here, so I kind of waited for them all to leave so I could, you know, have this moment with you guys. We made it to the top of Cascade. I am so happy. This is my first true solo summit. So let's celebrate. Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I wish I had something to cheers you guys with or something like that. Also, on this hike, I met someone that watches my videos. Shout out to Kevin, who I met earlier along the trail. I forgot to take a selfie with him. This is amazing. I cannot believe I'm here. I can't believe I made it. This hike was absolutely beautiful. I'll kind of like come to you and show you the views.
But life just passed us by. 'Cause we weren't meant to be. But you still got a piece of me. Ooh, and I know you ain't my cards, but I swear I mean it all. I hope you're happier now. Now that I'm gone, I'm moving on. And now you wish I was burning in hell. And all you want is the memory lost. And I still think about you sometimes. When I fucked up in the middle of the night. You wish I was burning in hell, but I still wish you well. I hope you're happy now. 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 I hope I got you and your vibes in my mind, I can't get them out, no matter how hard I try. I need you and your heart next to mine, yeah, I'm all about keeping it you and I. When you're here, you spark chemical reactions. Your aura strikes like lightning. Got no words, I'm just drowning in attraction. Only one way to describe it. It's electric, can you feel it? You got the only touch that takes me high. It's electric, I'm up in my feelings. Got double vision 'cause it's electric.
Hey guys, welcome to my after hike summary for Cascade Mountain. Okay guys, have you ever seen Cascade from the highway? I'm sure you have. Have you ever seen Cascade from the town of Banff? I bet you have as well. It's that big mountain that's towering over the city of Banff, and I looked at it for years. Admiring it and being like, you know what, one day I'm going to hike that one. And I finally got to hike it this summer. I was really happy that I finally got to cross it off of my list. Would I do it again? Probably not. I'd never done a hike where I drove to the trailhead solo, hiked the mountain solo, finished it solo, and then got back in my car and drove home solo. That's never happened before. I have done plenty of solo summits where I've gone with someone and they've stopped at a lower elevation and I've completed the mountain. That's happened multiple times. I'm used to doing that, but I've never done a mountain completely solo, and I can always see it from the highway and talk about it whenever I drive by it with other people. So it's just, yeah, it's so special to me. So yeah, Cascade Mountain. Let's get into the stats of this one. This one was 21.2K with a 1,614 meter elevation gain, which is, yeah, that's crazy. The trail was pretty straightforward. This is in a national park, so there was a lot of signs along the way, which was really nice. And the trail starts off very flat, but do not be fooled. By the time you get past the river crossing, or the creek crossing rather, there's a bridge there. You don't have to actually walk through the creek. But after that, after like 3.5K or something of flat, you go up and you keep going up, and there's no respite the rest of the way, except for maybe the boulder field, if that counts for anything. But yeah, for the most part, it's just uphill, a lot of uphill. Now, when you reach the switchback portion, which is right after the creek crossing, that part, you can shorten a little bit. So the switchbacks are kind of long. They're kind of like, they go this way and then they go this way, and they're kind of long, but you can actually cheat and just go up. So you kind of cut back on your distance if you do that. So I did that a lot on the way back. There's a lot of almost defined braided trails through the woods in that part. So if you are going that way, you will definitely notice the shortcuts through the switchbacks. So I did that for a lot of it. Even on the way down, I made this like really long shortcut, which I was a little concerned about because I was in the woods for a while, but it saved me a lot of the back and forth switchbacks. So this trail has a lot of varying terrain. After you get past the switchback section, you kind of get to a more rocky section, and then you get into the boulder field. So when you exit the boulder field, that's really when your challenge is gonna start. This is where all of your elevation gain, you know, you thought you gained a lot of elevation gain getting to the boulder field, but that is nothing compared to the rest of the hike. So it's pretty steep up the rest of the way, and it's very hard to navigate. I find you have to follow these painted rocks, but there's not enough painted rocks. It's not like the trails in Lake O'Hara where there's, like, say you're doing the alpine circuit, there's these rocks every few meters and you see them and they have like these 11s on them. It's not like that. The rocks that are marked are few and far between. They are spray painted orange, I believe it was, and I just kind of followed them as best as I could, but I got off trail quite a few times. And the one time I got off trail, it was really sketchy because it got really slippery and basically cliffed myself out, and I had to go back. So that can happen quite often on this trail. Once you get to the false summit, you kind of have to, you don't go up anymore, you go around. So you go around and then up to the peak, which again, route finding skills required. There was actually people sitting at the false summit and they were eating their lunch, and they were basically like telling me like, you need to go that way, and it just looked like a drop, and I was like, huh, where am I going? And then they're like, that way. So I followed their advice, looked down, and I was like, okay, that's not really a cliff edge, that is a defined trail. So after here, it's generally pretty straightforward. It's just steep and relentless, but the top is 100% worth it. You can see Assiniboine from up there. You can see the town of Banff from up there. You can see Mount Rundle from up there. You can see Lake Minnewanka. It's just views, beautiful views up there. I got the summit all to myself for probably like 15-20 minutes, and then I decided to head back down myself. And the way down I find was more challenging than the way up, due to route finding, which is really weird because I had just done Eiffel Peak prior to this one, and I found the opposite problem. It was kind of hard to find the trail going up, but on the way down it was clear and defined and very easy to route find. But this one was the opposite. It was easier on the way up, harder on the way down, and I got off trail probably a total of 6-7 times. And honestly, you need to be really careful when you get off trail on this one because you literally can get cliffed out very easily. And my turn by the false summit, because you basically have to go over this wall and the trail's kind of hidden, my way back, I had to really look at my map because I could not remember where to turn, and I missed the turn actually. So I really had to have my map out most of the hike. I actually ran out of water on the way down really early on. I want to say during the rock slab portion. There's this rock slab portion of the hike which was not my favorite, but it was pretty grippy for the most part. So after the false summit, when you're going back down, it's like this rock slab that you kind of have to traverse. And that's where I ran out of water. So I still had I want to say like 8K back to the trailhead, but I knew that there was a creek crossing in the beginning, so I really just had to set my mind to, I'm gonna make it to the creek crossing, I'm gonna make it to this creek crossing. And it was a really hot day, you guys. It was really hot out, and I really just, that makes me uncomfortable when you run out of water on a hot day. But I knew I was already coming down, so it was fine. But had I run out of water going up, I probably would have quit and gone back, because yeah, that's just asking for trouble. There is no other water sources throughout this whole hike except for the creek. So I made it to the creek, thankfully, and I had my Life Straw water bottle, so I filled it up like twice, drank all the water and filled it up again, continued onward. And the last part of the hike, unfortunately, was starting to get dark, so it was kind of eerie. I wasn't the only one on the trail though. There was other people that were making a lot of noise, because yeah, it was definitely starting to get dark. It was such a long, strenuous, but absolutely beautiful day in the mountains, and I'm so glad I got to do this one solo. It was so special. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.
I let you in deeper than I